temperatures plummeting, lots of you would be sitting there, possibly with an extra jumper on. But imagine sleeping outside in a makeshift protest camp.
Well, Alex Riley explains to me goes planning a long winter underground.
Sitting Bull, otherwise known as Simon, has decided to put his life in danger to halt the construction of a new road between two East Sussex seaside towns.
This is the hardest way of removing protesters from the site, is when they tunnel. Down here is my water container and my urinal. So I've got a bit of comfort below me. This is my snorkel breathing system, which is very rudimentary, to say the least. And this is just one of several tunnels. This is the Sitting Bull tunnel. There's Crazy Bull tunnel. They're in the process of doing one of that tunnel.
The controversial Bexhill Hastings Link Road project has been under discussion for more than 20 years, and last year protesters lost a court battle for the road to be scrapped. This is apparently one of 3 different camps where people are building things and setting ropes and what have you.
Hello. How long have you been up there for then?
An hour and a half or so.
And how long will you serve there?
Probably not that much longer for the moment, so we don't have a cup of tea, I think.
Now, since the camp opened in December, there have been about a dozen arrests, but today everything seems quite good-natured and friendly. This road scheme is only just over 3 miles long. Why is it worth getting arrested for?
It's destroying this beautiful part of the countryside. It's contributing to climate change through the increased emissions. It's a terrible waste of public money. You know, I want my daughter to grow up and to be able to walk through this valley and not to be completely destroyed by a road which is going to be carrying 30,000 vehicles a day. It's obscene.
There is, however, plenty of support for the project. 84% of local people responding to a recent survey backed the idea of a new road, and so too did the Treasury and East Sussex County Council.
It's absolutely essential to the future development of Hastings and Bexhill. It will increase the size of the local economy by over £1 billion, which is 10 times the cost of building this road.
Now, there are obviously some very passionate people who oppose this project, and some of them are prepared to dig tunnels, climb trees and get arrested. And what would you say to them?
We've been through a very long process of consultation, of planning, permission, of public inquiry. So there's been ample opportunity for everybody to put their point of view. And their antics in the courts last year and in tunnelling and the likes this year cost us around £5 million.
With construction now underway, history tells us that it's unlikely that either side will get precisely what they want. Even 7,000 demonstrators couldn't halt the Newbury bypass from being built, and all the added security cost the taxpayer a whopping £24 million extra.
If they do come grab me, what I need is 30 seconds, at which time I'll be down the hole.
You're going to stay in this room locked in the dark.
No, I have to get forward.
Doing a head torch, but you know, the batteries on that.
I've got loads of batteries, but yeah.
But it's going to be cold and claustrophobic. How long can you survive in a tunnel?
I reckon I could a month.
Well, I know you mentioned it at the top of the show, but, being out in conditions like this doesn't even bear thinking about. So, Lucy's here to talk about this a little bit more. We just heard there from Sitting Bull. It's kind of a last resort for him to go down in that tunnel. It's not in that situation at the moment.
Yes.
So where are they as it stands today?
Well, we're not allowed to say where the camp is because they want to keep it secret, but the road is built in stages. So they obviously haven't got to that part of the road yet. When they do get near to that part of the road, the police have told us they have specially trained people who will deal with removing or evicting the protesters like Sitting Bull, and they will apply for a High Court order to do that. So we don't know is the short answer exactly when that will happen. It's a sort of waiting game at the moment. Okay. And this is a pretty big protest, isn't it? But I mean, we used to see a lot more protests on this scale. Yes, I mean, this is really sort of taking us back to the 90s. I mean, what happened today was there was a standoff with the police, and that lasted about 4 hours. And then the protesters who were in the treetops on that particular location came down and they were obviously evicted, and the 3 oak trees there were felled. But we got used to seeing this sort of thing in the 90s, and it was on a much bigger scale actually. You might remember Twyford Down in Hampshire, which is an area of outstanding natural beauty, which was extended for the M3. Huge protests there. That's really when we saw the start of this non-violent direct action. We saw the tunnelling and the treetop protesters, and people became very good at doing this. Then Newbury, the bypass at Newbury, 1,000 people were arrested there, and that's the one where Swampy emerged. He became the reluctant.
You remember
leader.
Swampy,
I
Brian?
remember Swampy very well. The hero. The man was a hero.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's shocking. I really do think it's shocking. You see that, and it's the most beautiful part of England, you know, that part of Kent.
What, the actual road building?
Yeah, it's just, I think it's shocking. I just leave it alone. Let the country be. You know, we're doing enough damage to the countryside. We should leave the countryside alone. You know.
And then on the other hand, there were people that say, well, this is progress, we need these roads. And Swampy became the really reluctant hero. He sort of came up from the tunnel, and then he sort of had a taste of fame. He was on, Have I Got News for You? He was in fashion supplements.
You were quite a fan of Swampy, weren't you?
Have a little I'm blushing now. And then he disappeared again. Daniel Hooper, where are you?
Yeah.
We don't know yet. We don't know. And we can't. Sorry, go on.
I just think this point that you made about how unfashionable it is to protest nowadays, and I think it's a shame, because it's only by protesting that you get things moving and done.
Have you protested yourself, Brian?
Oh yeah, I protest all the time. Every day of my life I'm protesting about
It's
something.
one of those active.
Exactly,
One of those.
endlessly protest. In fact, I'm a pain in the proverbial on my protest.
We'll get you to your shoulder, don't worry.
But listen, we can't talk about the roads tonight without talking about the snow. And I mean, the warnings that might be in place. Are there anything that we need? Yes, there are. There's 3 amber warnings and there's 8 yellow warnings for the whole